What's your latest estimation, based on all of these different vaccine candidates and the data we've got from them, of when herd immunity will be reached in the US? We spoke with Professor Sir John Bell of Oxford University last week. For the UK, which clearly has about a fifth of the number of people to vaccinate, he felt spring was achievable.
Yeah, I think so. Same thing is true for the United States. We typically vaccinate half the population every year around the fall time for the influenza vaccine. So if you think about emergency conditions, kind of like a full national effort to vaccinate, I don't think vaccinating the U.S. population in 3 to 6 months is too much of a stretch. It's more like, at what point will the FDA feel it's safe enough to give the vaccines to people who are kind of like in the less high-risk groups. Folks that will get it under the emergency use authorization would be kind of like, high-risk people in terms of either their jobs or because they have got comorbidities. But the rest of us, how long will we have to wait before we get the vaccines? Once that happens, I think it will happen within 2 or 3 months.
As for the stocks themselves, I know you don't specifically cover Moderna. You've got a market perform on Pfizer, AstraZeneca, J&J, all in the mix. Do the vaccines help the thesis or hurt the thesis on any of these stocks? For instance, now that we have proof of concept on this whole mRNA technology, does that open the door for potentially more faster vaccines for Moderna or Pfizer?
Absolutely. So the question is, we need to see the full picture of the safety of the vaccines and what other vaccines are able to achieve before we start assigning market share. Historically, vaccines have not been a very high-priced business. And when there are multiple vaccines for the same disease, they typically drop very quickly to a gross margin of 30 to 40%. But obviously, when we talk about vaccinating the entire world population, it helps the Pfizer thesis quite a bit. What will help them more would be if indeed this 94-95 is limited to the LNP vaccine approach, as opposed to every vaccine against COVID having that. The AstraZeneca results suggest that that might not be the case. That is, that LNP might be specifically have a very high efficacy. But we're yet to see the Novavax you just mentioned, maybe the Johnson & Johnson results, and then we'll know.
Does it matter that the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines don't seem to stop asymptomatic transmission in a way that the AstraZeneca vaccine does seem to? Again, this is not something that we have enough data on from any of those candidates yet.
Yeah, obviously that's very hard to do. I'm not sure that is the case. What we know is that not only are those people protected, but in neither the Moderna case nor the Pfizer case, although they were able to detect some virus in the nasal passages of the people in the treatment arm that were measured, none of them got significantly sick. So our testing for the presence of vaccine are exquisitely sensitive. So it's possible that those people had a little bit of vaccine. I'm not sure if it means for a fact that they were infective to their relatives. They were almost for sure lower in terms of their ability to infect others.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.